Hey guys, this is Heather, your embedded librarian for Sabrina's class. I looked over some of your discussion questions and I thought I would have a cup of coffee and answer some of them. So, a few of you asked about borrowing materials, and I have good news. Starting the last week in September, we are going to start loaning materials from our physical collection. So I'd ask that you go to the library's website when you are ready. And if you want to borrow any materials that we have in our physical collection, meaning our books, that you go to our website and you'll see how to do that. There's going to be a form online. A few of you asked about using the library resources and strategies for getting started with research. This is Hyun Chang, Miriam, Gabriel, Andrea, and Andreas, and Givney. And what I would say for you guys is that if you're, my first recommendation is to come up with a list of key words that describe your topic. So these are going to be probably 3 to 5 words or short phrases that describe what it is that you want to research. All right, if you come up with that list, write it down. Actually, write it down. That will help you right away to narrow down your search. And Gabriel asks about specific databases to use and mentions SIRS Researcher and ProQuest. So we actually don't have that many other ProQuest databases other than SIRS. So I would say SIRS is a good place to go and start your research. But if you are looking for things like scholarly or peer-reviewed articles, there was another student that had that question, you're going to want to use the database that's called Academic Search Complete. So Miriam, I gave you just a couple names of databases that you would want to use. Let's see what else. And then Jivani asks about what is the best way to organize your research and how to create more direct questions. So you may come up with a general question, but those key words are going to help you organize your research. So if you are looking for information about why college is so expensive, then maybe you're going to want to look up words like college tuition or higher education and costs. All right, so think about ways that you can describe your topic, and that's going to help you narrow things down. Sanjaya asks a wonderful question about what you should do when you ask a librarian a question. First of all, on my intro video, you guys were able to see how to chat with a librarian on our website. So I'd highly recommend that you use that tool. We are just normal people. You don't need to come to us with any really prepared questions. You can just say you're starting a research project and you need some help, all right? And have an idea in your mind about what your topic is. There were a few of you who asked about, so Aiden asks, when was the virtual library created? The awesome thing about our library is that we have always had the majority of our services online. The only thing that has really changed is that now all the librarians are online as well, and you can chat with us. And the fact that our physical space is closed, so you can't use it to make prints or study. Then there were a few of you that asked about books versus online databases. So Malik and Michelle, you asked about the online catalog and the Dewey Decimal System. Our books are actually organized in something called the Library of Congress call number system. You don't really need to worry about what that is for now because you guys will be getting most of your books online. And if you're borrowing a physical book, then our staff will find it for you in the stacks and will bring it out to you. And Eduardo asks about, does one's own Lexile score or level matter when choosing a reading book? Not necessarily, no. Unless you are an English language learner, so this is maybe your 3rd or 4th year learning English, there may be some of our books that would be difficult or some articles that would be more difficult. The database that shows you Lexile scores is called, I think it's either SIRS Researcher shows Lexile scores and Points of View Reference also. So both of those have Lexile scores next to the articles in case you're curious about that. Okay, Caitlin and Kelly ask about finding a reliable source. So there's an acronym that I use, which is CRAP: currency, relevance, accuracy, authority, and purpose. Okay, CRAAP. So what I would say is that you want to find articles that are up to date, and most importantly, are written by an authoritative source or authoritative author. So you want to ask yourself when you're reading an article, why is this person qualified to write on this subject? All right, so typically articles that you find in a library's database will have already been vetted to make sure that they are reliable and credible. But if you are on the World Wide Web looking for, want to find things that are written by authors who know about their subject, are current on the topic, and are from magazines or journals or websites that you know and trust. So Elijah has, this is just a last but not least question. If there's one thing that I think students or people forget most often when doing research, what would I say that thing is? What I would say is to have a balance of sources. So we all want to confirm our own beliefs. We all want to find articles that tell us what we want to hear. But what I would say is, even if you don't end up using it in your research paper, look at articles that go against what you thought that you would find in your research. The other thing I would say is ask your librarian. So if you are getting stuck, you guys have me to come to, and you also have the librarians that are online as well. So don't forget about librarians. We are your partners in research. Last thing I want to say is I'm going to be doing 2 live orientations during Sabrina's office hours starting in October. So these will be oriented around getting you guys started for that research paper. And I look forward to meeting some of you in person. Okay, see you guys.